Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew and a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's roll, tide, roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Blitz, Bama, Blitz.
Welcome back, everyone. It is the Weekly Joe podcast previewing Week 5 of the SEC schedule. I'm Paul Graham. Got Griffin Smith with me tonight with the great Joe background. Very, very stylish there. Roger Myers back in Tuscaloosa after traveling the country, Jacksonville back, and then all the way to Norman, Oklahoma, and back. We'll talk about that trip a little bit here in a moment. Meghan Dennis coming to us from the site of the, I guess I'm seeing them now ranked number one among mid-majors in the, I can't remember who does that poll every week where they do the mid-major
11.7 maybe?
Yeah, 11.7 I think. But Coastal was standing at the top of those. They took 2 out of 3 from South this weekend. And we got Drew Champlin, as usual, top left, coming to us from the Hoover branch of the Weekly Joe. Again, we're here to talk about week 5 upcoming for the Alabama Crimson Tide. We're going to recap week 4. Nice weekend in Oklahoma, and again, we're a little bit spoiled. We didn't sweep, and so we're a little bit disappointed. But hey, it could be a lot worse. Roger, the trip to OU, give us a little insight on OU as a conference foe. I think you'd been there before,
yes,
for a non-conference, but now what are your observations of that as a conference site now?
They need to do work on their part, a lot of work on their part. It's a nice little field, but you feel like you're at Troy or a little bit bigger Samford, maybe not as big as Hattiesburg even, but it's biggest thing of course to me is it's total turf, no dirt or grass anywhere.
Right.
It almost cost us miles.
Turf monster.
Turf monster got him. But the very affable employees, people at the stadium working very nice, very, the fans for the most part treated everybody real well.
Good.
I happened to see this guy, Ryan, that used to was in marketing in Alabama a few years back. And I looked at him, he looked at me, and I went, he said, Roger? I said, yeah. He said, do you remember me? I said, yeah, you're Ryan. He said, I said, how long you been up here? He said, I knew you left Alabama several years ago. He said, well, you went to Missouri for a while, and then he came to Oklahoma. He said, and unprompted, he said, we do realize we need to do some facilities upgrades for baseball. He said, I said, well, yeah, and I noticed, when I was here before and now, it's like you got a big history of, and they have a board with all their College World.
Oh yeah, where the bullpen used to be.
All that stuff, and he said, yeah, he said, but we didn't need it before we were in SEC. He said, well, we were playing Iowa State or whatever. It's like we had way more than enough room. He said, when you get LSU and Alabama and Arkansas, those kind of teams coming up here, we know we have to do something. So they had 2 little tiny boxes next to the press box up top, and they look like little storage units.
Yeah, so that's all the premium.
That's the premium. And then there's nothing for students.
Right.
We were in, for the most part, in the general admission. They had some metal bleachers, and then the rest. I think it only holds like 33, 35.
3,500.
Yeah.
They were promoting, and they were sold out, and it was like 3,800. It still didn't feel like a great atmosphere.
Well, it didn't. And then part of our the comp seats, some were on general admission, but then they had one section right above our dugout where we were sitting. Those were chair back and comfortable and nice seats. And I did notice there was nowhere with any kind of bleachers in the outfield. But I did notice, out there between center and right, there was a blank space, and it looked like a bunch of students, just kind of went
gathered.
Just gathered and just sat there. which is about the only place
Brady,
you could.
when Brady robbed that home run that game one that night, he had a few guys out there. He was
Yeah,
looked like he was playing
yeah,
around with. They did say on the broadcast, I guess they're about to build a new a baseball building, maybe an indoor facility or something on
good.
the right field side. So maybe that's
Okay.
the start of
They,
some upgrades up
they,
there.
like I say, they
Yeah,
do know they need it, and they're planning to.
Mhm.
And someone told me that, and I wouldn't be surprised because of their success, but that the softball park's bigger
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
than
It's
baseball.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
So
mean,
just
you
above,
win, you win every national championship for
right.
several
yeah,
years. I guess that happens.
that's
So just
right.
barely above Missouri as far as complexes, but maybe not by much, or is it neck and neck?
Oh, better than. I mean,
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it other than they just need more. They need
it's
more
just small.
seats.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's very limited concessions. I mean,
Mhm.
it's toward the bottom. I mean, it's not Missouri bad though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, like two different concession stands, like one on this end and one on this end, and they're small
That's it.
and like
Yeah.
two restrooms.
Right. Well, hopefully that gets elevated over the years here as
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
now in the conference. So, it's pretty darn serious about baseball. You mentioned their softball. How about our softball team now? Team 30, Drew.
in 30.
Big Team
Number
30 got
one.
Team 30. Well, it takes 2 out of 3 from Texas at the Rhodes House this weekend. Coach Murph's got that thing rolling the right direction. Number 1 in the country.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
We baseball and softball handed series losses to two teams who I still don't think should be in the SEC, but we gave them to them.
And
There you
they're one in RPI and baseball's two
Uh,
in RPI, I believe.
Yeah. I think we're
As well
sitting
as
2. They're 1 in most of the polls because Texas was before. So
Yeah.
so great weekend on the diamond overall for the Crimson Tide overall. All right, before we get into it, we're sitting here at 7:13 p.m. on Monday night, April 6th. Give me your prediction for the national title game tonight. Megan, UConn or Michigan? Who you got?
UConn.
UConn. All right, there you go. All right, Drew.
I'm going to go UConn. I'm rooting for them. I like Dusty May, but I don't like Michigan. So hopefully I'm going to go UConn by 4, and then Dusty
Okay.
May goes off to the NBA and coaches the Chicago Bulls.
All right, awesome. All right, you got it all covered, Griff.
Yeah, my Bulls, the whole front office got fired. I mean,
They all got wiped out, didn't they?
we're screwed. I like Dusty May to coach the Bulls, but I will take the Huskies.
All right, Roger, you got a preference tonight?
The court falling, the basketball court fall in a sinkhole. I guess I guess I'll go UConn.
You go UConn. All right, it's interesting.
Michigan's probably the
Yeah,
best team in the country. The way they handle
definitely.
it.
I think UConn can. I mean, you got to hand it to Hurley. I mean, he's done this twice, so I don't know his record. That was like 17-1 or 18-1 or whatever the hell it was in the tournament. I mean, it's just something just 6 national championships from UConn, all since
99.
1998.
Yeah.
Yeah.
88, 98. I mean, 6 in a less than a 30-year period. Just unbelievable. I mean, and you think about Krzyzewski's run at Duke was 42 years. He won 5. I mean, he could have won about 12, but unbelievable what they've done there. I'll spoil y'all. I'll go Michigan for the first time since '89. It wasn't the Fab Five team. It was the Ramil Robinson, Terry Mills. Give me another name on that team. Glenn Rice, I guess.
Glenn Rice was what I was
superstar.
thinking.
Yeah, that team that year. It was Tarpley. Roy Tarpley was Tarpley on that. Who knows? But yeah, I'll take Michigan. I think I'm just going to go bandwagon there. Yaxel, if Yaxel's knee doesn't hold up, maybe that helps.
Rob Pelinka was on that team, man.
Pelinka was. He sure was. That's right. He sure was. All right, so there you go. We wanted to get that out of the way before the game goes on. While we're broadcasting here. All right, so here we go. Previewing the week. We go to, first things first. We go to Sanford. Sanford comes to us at the Joe tomorrow night, 6 p.m. This is that kind of midweek trap game. They're a 14-16 team. They're sitting 145 in the RPI, so this does nothing to help you at all. We're probably going to drop even if we win it. Well, we're sitting 2 in the RPI with the number 3 strength of schedule in the country. Really riding that on the backs of the fact that you took down Florida 3 straight. They're sitting at 8. You took down Auburn 3 straight. They're sitting at 5. You just took 2 out of 3 from Oklahoma, who's sitting at 18. You got to win over Oregon State, who's number 6. JSU, 2 of those games. One of the games is a quad 1 win because it was They're top 30. What are they? 28 now, I think. Yeah, 28. And the other's quad 2. So we got 10 quad 1 wins. No one else in the country with 10 quad 1 wins. Drew, did you any thought on this being the case 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
No, I thought we were going to probably be at 1-11 at this point right now, but we are in the SEC. But just a lot of you know, gritty wins by our
Yeah.
guys. We kind of score. I thought, to be honest, we probably should have won the game 2 and lost game 3. I
Mhm.
think if Bryce
Yeah.
Fowler catches those 2 fly balls, then Zane's pitching line looks better, and and then we probably win that game 2-1. And then game 3, it's like, we load the bases, no outs, and 2 strikeouts looking, I think, and then
Yeah.
2 wild pitches and a drop fly ball that Eric Hines hit about
Yeah.
500 feet if there's no wind. And
If we want to
so,
win, yeah.
but our pitching and our defense held on. Brady Neal made some phenomenal plays throughout the weekend. And, Jack State, it's like Brady Neal again, the big home run in the top of the ninth with 2 outs to shut him up. So I thought it was a really fun and satisfying week. I don't know that we're like an elite team, but by gosh, we're finding ways to win. And
Yeah.
if some of these guys can pick up their averages and production a bit, then man,
Mhm.
we're gonna be a little bit of a tough
Mhm.
matchup these last several weeks of the season.
Yeah, yeah. Meghan, this team, like Drew said, it's finding ways to win. We're 7-1 in 1-run games. If I think earlier when we were really reeling that real bad mood night, I guess after Kentucky, and we were asking, what team do you compare this to? And everybody was picking these 8-22 teams and the 7-23 teams. And I in my mind, I think I'd said it was, probably the I can't remember which year it was. I guess it was 19, maybe. Yeah, it was the year we went like 12-18, 12-7. We just missed a regional.
22, I think.
Yeah, and we just
Yeah.
lost a bunch of 1-run games that year. The script's kind of flipped, Meghan. You're winning those games. You're finding a way.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I guess to an extent, it's cheesy as is. It's like one of the pillars is grit, and this team's showing that like that grit is there, even when it sometimes is this mindset of just like, what are like what are we doing? I think there's a lot of that in these games that our group chat is just kind of like, what is happening, and yet
Right.
the outcome is a win, and at the end of the day, doesn't matter how you do it, a win's a win.
Yeah, yeah. Roger, most bizarre offensive output to win a game. The Eric Hines at bat. Everything scored on Eric Hines at bat.
Right, exactly.
On Sunday or
Two,
Saturday.
two pass balls and Eric's. I gave Eric a hit on that ball. I mean,
yeah,
the wind
I think
was
it hit the glove. Probably
the wind was just blowing that thing. I mean, that guy had no shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like that pop up in the infield. That all our infielders. I guess Luke was closest to it. I thought it might have actually hit Luke.
Luke probably could have run up on it like an outfielder the way he was running up to the way it was coming to.
But yeah, that was, and then just shut down. I think one hit after the third inning was our last hit.
Yeah.
Yes. Brady's single in the third was our. I'm looking at the wrong day. Let's see.
Yeah. It basically, I think you pointed out in the green room before we started, we scored this weekend in 5 innings of the 27. I guess we played 27 innings. We scored in 5 of those 27 innings. Obviously, just pounded out runs in the first 2 of game 1. Got a couple, scratched one here and there in game 2, and then got all of those in game 1 in game 3 in the first. I mean, just 5 runs in 27 innings. Is that sustainable? I mean, are you going to go win 2 out of 3 in series like that if that's all the offensive output you're going to get?
You wouldn't think so, but they keep figuring out a way how to do it. I mean, even those, you go back early in the year, 3-2 over Samford, 2-1 over Alabama State. I mean, like you're saying, 1-run games, but I mean, you're getting 4 and 5 hits and scoring 2 and 3 runs and winning games.
Yeah, yeah.
It just goes to show you what the pitching staff's doing.
The pitch. I was going to transition to the pitching staff here, Griff. I mean, in particular, we say a lot about the starters. I feel like we slight Faye and Adams every week because, I mean, after we had Tyler on and the week, the no hitter he had, you just kind of expect him to go out there and just shove, which he did again. He wasn't his sharpest on Thursday night, but chewed up innings, got you to the bullpen. We had a big lead, and while we gave a few of them back, it was fine. Zane pitched a really, you ought to win that game 7 out of 10 times with the
Right.
pitching effort he had on Friday. And Church, I mean, it's a freshman. It's hit or miss maybe, but the bullpen, Griff. I think the bullpen has been. If there's an MVP of this team, and his name isn't Brady Neal, it's the bullpen.
Yeah, they are, the offensive line of this team. They're winning these games where the offense may just not find a way to get all the at-bats. I mean, credit to Brady and Bryce. Their bats have definitely contributed the past couple of weeks, and I expect LeBron to find his groove. I don't think he's going to be as cold as he has been. But I mean, the pitching, you put Zane and Tyler on the mound.
Yeah.
I mean, it just gives us a chance. When they can go, typically at least 5. We've seen 6, 7. We've seen a full game, so it's those guys, and then you've got guys in the back end like Hagan that can come in and close out a game. It's Crowther had another productive outing this weekend.
Yeah.
So it's those guys. They give you a chance to keep battling, and it's. Do I think it's sustainable? Probably not, but
no.
If they keep winning, I'm not going to question it. So
yeah. Drew, Ashton Crowther. The last couple or 3 outings he's had, probably can't say enough about what a value he has been. Probably unexpected.
Yeah, I think I want to say he was probably one of the more highly regarded transfers we brought in. But third school in three or 4 years. But he, I don't think he got even to pitch until maybe it was kind of one of the last relievers to get in. And he's not throwing hard. He's kind of high 80s maybe, but he's getting guys out from the left side, throwing strikes, attacking guys. And I thought really that that game 3 Saturday was perfect for him because you could, with the wind blowing in the way it was, you could probably make some more mistakes with some pitches because no one was really hitting the ball very well. So he's been great. It's kind of like, you bring him in after Upchurch. They're 2 totally different pitchers. And, it's a good combination. Hopefully Upchurch will get better and stop walking as many guys as he is. But he's been Crowther's been great.
Yeah, 3 and 2/3 innings on was that Saturday? I gotta get my
Saturday. Game
Saturday.
3. Let's call it game 3 because I'm still mixed up on those.
It gives up 1 earned run, but again, I mean, coming off of the outing Church had, which was a little bit dicey. First of all, we thought he was out of there, tweaking the ankle on the damn turf mound, which. All right, I can live with a turf field. I get why you have to have a turf field in some of these places, but how hard is it to put, a pile of dirt on damn mound, or on baseline?
And at the plate.
Plate. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, they really ought to, mandate that. It's just not that complicated. But yeah, good. I think you got a good point there. You got to, kind of very polished, pretty hard throwing, but also,
that one run should not have been allowed because it should have been a strike 3 on the pitch before.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
So that's when we had that infield mess where they almost gave him 2 runs, but thankfully he could get it challenged.
Right.
So,
but yeah, great outing for him. Again, it felt like this weekend, as opposed to certain other weekends, just every bullpen switch we pulled, or every button we punched seemed to be the right thing, Roger.
Yes. Yeah. Sam might have gone a little bit too long. He got in a little trouble there at the end, but the wind was blowing out that night. And so that kind of hurt him. But Maddie had 2 good outings. Austin Morris looked amazing.
Austin was great. Yeah.
Good
to see
that
too.
Because that was promising. That was in the game
exactly.
too. And Luke Smyers, had a good inning there too. So
solid inning.
That's promising. But Crowther to me has been the unsung hero of this whole thing. Like he missed almost all the fall, and he wasn't ready the first part of the season. Like it was a little, like Drew was saying, a little later, and he's doing it with a max of 86 to 88. I think it was Johnny last week when he was on said that they were watching some film of Ashton like throwing in the mid 90s before his injury. So I mean, possibly that's something that may come back. And then Banks just keeps getting people. I mean, he just keeps closing the door at the end.
Exactly.
And he had his easiest outing this week, just 8 pitches, like a couple of ground balls and a fly ball.
In a fly
I
ball.
told him after the game, I said, I like that a lot better than the fielder's been botching some balls for you and then something happens and then it's like, this was a lot less stressful.
Ball hit to the track, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, like I mentioned, we win game 3. It's a 1-run game. We're 7-1. I mean, we've had years where we were 3-8 in 1-run games. I mean, it really, really makes a big difference, and it's really a tribute to that bullpen. All right, help me. Again, a bunch of different types of games. Thursday night, bombs away. I mean, we're Bryce hits a couple of homers. I mean, how many we hit that? We hit 4 that night. I think.
For Osterhaus and Poppy.
And Poppy, and then nobody got close the rest of the week. I mean, although I think Hines might have had a couple, if on a day not so windy. It's it's one of those weekends where you just, like you mentioned, they're Meghan, the grit of the team. Every game's a whole different test, and they just found a way to pull these out. I missed her. Oh, I lost her. Okay, I thought she had something there. But summing up the team, though, let's talk offense. We mentioned we scored in 5 of 27 innings. We had instances where we got guys that weren't getting bunt. You get a bunt down. You got to get bunt down. I mean, just dink it in place somehow. Get on top of the ball, get the bunt down. We're striking out too much. You go back to that first inning. Base hit Fowler, base hit Braun, Brady walks. K and a K. I mean, come on, let's elevate something. I mean, again, we're facing SEC pitchers. I have to look real funny up there trying that. Kind of dead spots in the lineup. It's if you look at our everyday, so the 9 guys that play most every day, 9 of the 9, 5 are hitting 220 or less in SEC play. So 5 of your 9 are under 220, and then the rest of them are. They're 321 or better. So it's boom or bust. I mean, it's Griffin's kind of like, you get past a spot in the order, you're going to get nothing, and then maybe you're going to get something out of this guy, but it's hard to hide guys when 5 of your 9 are 220 or under.
Yeah. It's, you want to get the consistency up, and it's not going to get any easier with, Arkansas coming to town this weekend. But yeah, like I said, it's when you've got Fowler and Neal doing their part. Again, you'd like to think LeBron's gonna wake up. We've seen Torres have the power. Same with Johnny. Definitely and I know it's one of the questions that came in. It's would love to see a Sam Christensen be healthy. Although I don't think that this weekend, in my opinion, would be the right time to bring him in. But but it's also, I think we've talked about it before. We're kind of at a point where I think we'll ride with what we got. And again, it's working, but it's, we definitely need more of it moving forward.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'd like to see Vaughn's had, flashes and Brennan Holtz, had some moments, but we just want to see more consistency. We just can't have those 3 up, 3 down innings that just feel like buzzkill.
Yeah. Yeah. We got, 100-point gap between our number 4 and our number 5 in the order and just a batting average. I mean, there's other numbers and on base, even those other 5, nobody in that pack of 5 is on base over 343. So, teams hitting 276 in conference. This is all in conference and only 270 overall. So again, I can live with the SEC splits being a little better. Right, Roger?
Yes, that's unusual for our group too. But Brady and Bryce are doing so much that that's elevating it. They're both kind of having a Cade Snell kind of year going.
Exactly. Yeah.
Brady maybe more so, but both of them, I mean, hitting home runs, hitting doubles, getting on, just doing a lot. Torres is driving runs in. I mean, I know people don't like RBIs as a indicator of anything, but like you said, those 2 strikeouts when the base is loaded, you didn't have an RBI. You sure won't one there. I mean, they still mean a lot to me. I mean, do you want a guy getting a base hit with nobody on, or you want to,
get something? Yeah, exactly.
Strike out that time, get a base hit when somebody's on base. It just need a little more consistency from other guys. Eric gave us a little boost, a little boost on Saturday's game. just with really good at bats every time.
Exactly. Yeah, he really did. Yeah. I think either got a walk or got hit. I can't remember which.
He got hit in
got
the
hit, yeah.
thigh, and they had to
Yeah.
get rid of the baseball because it
It's
pulverized. Yeah.
yeah. Strikeout. Strikeouts in SEC play. So over 12. Let's see. Is that right? Doesn't seem right. Oh, that's
We had 9, 13, and 12 in the 3 games this weekend.
Yeah. So yeah, I was looking at an overall stat, but it was from a different day. So I got to get my numbers right, or wasn't updated. But yeah, I think again, a lot of strikeouts on the weekend. Just instances where you're not necessarily moving guys in situations where you just got to move them. All right, so here's kind of where we are: 8-4 going into weekend number 5 in SEC play. You got Georgia sitting at the top, 10-2. You got Texas sitting behind them at 9-3. We're sitting in sole possession of third place at 8-4. Then you got a big pack at 7-5, big pack at 6-6. We'll talk about all those later. Georgia, Texas. To me, one of these teams is going to run away with the conference. Which one's it going to be, Roger?
Well, since we don't play Georgia, let's say it's going to be them, because it means we have a shot at beating Texas, and we're not a shot at beating Georgia.
Okay,
Texas is probably more of a complete team, but
yeah. Griff, your thought?
I would say Texas, just based on the body of work as of right now. But I think probably the most impressive thing of the weekend across the country is probably Georgia just going into sweep state. I mean, clearly we got it all wrong. So
right. Everybody, I mean, you heard different guys even like the belt ass guy and all them were talking about it going into the weekend. Everybody thought State had the pitching to shut down Georgia's hitting.
Right.
That didn't happen. But what happened in reverse is, oh shit, Georgia can pitch. Nobody thought Georgia could pitch. Nobody thought Georgia could pitch 3 days. And that's, to me, that's the most impressive. I got Georgia. Drew, your thought, Georgia or Texas?
I haven't looked at schedules. I'd probably go Georgia as well, because obviously we're going to want us to beat Texas. So, but I think it's kind of the deal where I think those are the only 2 teams in SEC play who have not lost a series, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to get knocked down at some point. It just kind of depends on how you bounce back. I mean, we bounced back pretty well after week 1. We still got 6 weeks. We'll probably lose a series that we don't think we should lose or something like that. So I would say probably Georgia. It looks like they're going to be tough I know they bring in 40 new transfers every year, and pretty good ones. So looks like right now they're the team to beat, really.
Right. Meghan, Georgia or Texas, or give me another one. Give me one behind them.
Well, I mean, I think we got a chance, quite honestly.
Okay.
Eye test wise, and I haven't looked at Texas' schedule, but Georgia, looking at their schedule, has an easier path for it. I think Texas looks beatable. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm not as worried as I would have been 3 weeks ago. Going into Texas in 2 weeks. They look beatable. I mean, South Carolina, who quite honestly has been trash all season, was able to beat them pretty handedly. So I think if we're looking at that and looking at who at least Georgia has left on their schedule, Georgia, I think, has an easier path to getting there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's give you the all right. So they just got done at South Carolina. South Carolina gave them a couple good games. In fact, took one from them, and then lost a 5-3 game and then a 4-1 game. That was at South Carolina. All right. Texas goes to A&M this weekend. It could be tough. We come to them. Vanderbilt at Nashville, and State at the Dish. And let's see, I guess there'll be 2 more. Tennessee at Knoxville, which looked a lot easier now. And then they finish with Missouri. Yeah, so they've got a couple of maybe gimmies on that schedule the rest of the way out. But yeah, four fairly tough ones, I think. So we'll see. I kind of feel like it's Georgia, just based on Georgia can hit anywhere. Georgia can hit off anybody. And if they get the kind of pitching they got this weekend, enough to slow down a State team that everyone thought was just a steamroller at their place. Oh, by the way, with 14,000 people there all the time. Pretty impressive showing by them. All right, so talk me off the ledge. Back to Alabama. Talk me off the ledge on this offense. Drew, is Well, here's the exercise I want to do with that. And y'all talk. Here's how you talk me off the ledge. We're 8-4 through 12 games. Our next four are. All right, help me out, guys. I know it's well in some succession. It's Arkansas, Vandy, Tennessee, and
At
Texas.
Texas.
at Texas. Okay, Texas. All
Arkansas,
right,
Texas,
all right,
Tennessee,
Vandy.
and then Vandy in that
and
order.
Vandy. All right. So that's your next 12 games in conference. Drew, give me 8-4 now. What do you do in those next 12?
I really kind of think, for me to predict a record, it kind of talking about the offense. I know I still would like to see us in some spots, including left field, DH, first base, rotate guys matchup wise. Maybe give Andrew Purdy a shot at first. Give either Steele or even Kroberger a chance at left against left-handed pitching, and just kind of mix that up a little bit. We did that, you know. I know people say batting average is a luck statistic. I don't really agree with that. I think it kind of balances out because you see Eric Hines hit two balls that should have gone 500 feet, and then he reaches on an infield single. I love seeing him get a chance on Saturday. I thought he played winning baseball. Hopefully he's in the lineup tomorrow. But yeah, record wise, gosh, it's going to be, we're hitting Arkansas at a time where they're reeling a bit, but they're going to be coming in like playing like their season's depending on it. So you're going to get that kind of team coming in. So, man, if you go to this weekend,
Yeah.
I would say if you look at those two home series, two each,
Yeah.
road series, one each. So that's what's my math? Six?
Mhm.
Six. Yeah.
Eight?
Yeah.
Eight? Is that right? Dang.
You guys
okay.
going 8-4 again?
I got 8-4. Yeah.
You got
That's
8-4.
where I'll go.
Right.
I'll go with
All
8 and
right, y'all
4.
going 8-4. Megan, you probably got 10-2.
12 and 0.
I'm at least 7. I
So,
think,
okay.
quite honestly, every single one of those series is winnable.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Griff, your thought on in the next 12?
Much better than our, usually pretty nice, but now it's a terrible website. Warren Nolan. They've got us losing at home to Arkansas, getting swept by Texas, and sweeping Tennessee and taking 2 of 3 from Vandy. I say the floor is
we don't
definitely
know.
7.
Yeah.
But,
all right. So
but
he's got a 6-6. That's 6-6. You guys at least at 7 as a 4. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this. Consensus here is 7-5 or 8-4. Let's say it's 8-4. If this team is 16-8 with Ole Miss
Yes,
at home, South Carolina on the road, can this team win 20 games? If that, I mean, again, that's why I'm framing it this way, because you see the back end of the schedule.
Right.
And mind you, Ole Miss was a death machine late in that game against Florida the other night, took 2 out of 3 on the road and couldn't get right. But if you're sitting 16-8, can you get to 20? I mean, could this?
You
could
can
this
go
team
20.
20?
If we get to 16-8, I'd say 20-10 guaranteed.
Okay.
And then we're like a top 4 national seed if that's
Right.
the case.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's kind of hard to
That's hard to
that's hard
to fathom, but
there's going to be a series where we just don't play very well and some team catches. I don't know what series that's going to be. It could be getting swept by Texas instead of not getting swept by Texas. I would say this weekend's we're definitely going to be on what you would call a bit of an upset alert because they're still Arkansas, but I just don't think this weekend's going to be the time that Arkansas just snaps out of it. I mean, they were not very good at Auburn. They probably
They weren't
should've-
good at all.
They haven't been good all season. They
Yeah,
lost a
I mean-
lot of midweeks. They should have won very easily.
So
that's why they're sitting RPI at like 50. I mean, they're very uncharacteristically. They're in they're at 56 in the RPI. I mean, that tells you they've lost a shitload of midweek games, including like a 15-14 or whatever it was.
So Missouri State.
5-7 in the conference, 20-13 overall. So
yeah, I just don't think it's going to be Arkansas. If a team gets us at home, I just don't think it's going to be Arkansas.
I could see it being a Vanderbilt. They had that ridiculous
playing
weekend
better.
against LSU. 3 straight walk-offs and
Tennessee, you mean?
Yeah, Tennessee.
They won the LSU series, though. I think you're right.
I could see that more, I guess, likely, than Arkansas. But yeah, I think if we're 15-9 and 16-8, I mean, we've got a chance to get at least 18. I think preseason we were saying, 15-15, I mean, is
Yeah.
kind of our benchmark.
That's
Now
always
we're
kind of baseline. Yeah.
mid-season readjustment, or maybe that would be after Arkansas is like we're closer to 18 or 19, and I don't think that
Okay.
that's out of the realm of possibilities.
All
So
right. Well, yeah. I mean, if you can talk me off the ledge that the offense is going to do more than it did this weekend, I'm just kind of pointing out that that's in play here, right? And especially,
Mhm.
it's a little bit like last year we had Missouri on kind of later in the schedule, or
Yeah.
well, really, I guess 23 when we finished with Ole Miss and did we have
Real
Missouri
bad
that?
Auburn team that we
Yeah,
about
but
lost the season on.
Mhm.
yeah, but I guess it was the year we end up we had Ole Miss when Ole Miss was like went 6-24 that year, and we finished with them and swept them. Ended up
Yeah.
playing a doubleheader to wrap up the year. So yeah, I was just thinking of that. I mean, when you've got that South Carolina series on the back end, it kind of bodes well for you that if you don't overlook them,
Right.
you can potentially make a little more damage at the end of the year because everybody else would have played their Ole Miss or their South Carolina or their Missouri at that point. Although kudos to Missouri, they go and did what we couldn't do, and that was a win 2 out of 3 of Kentucky this weekend.
3-1. Yeah.
Yep, yeah. Again, I didn't look at the overall stats for the conference, but our team ERA is 3.98 in the SEC play now. We're 89 Ks to 38 walks among our pitchers, and that's with Upchurch with 13 walks. I mean, he's had control issues
Yeah.
in a couple of those starts. So in SEC play, we're probably pitching as well or as well as that top. I mean, that's why you're sitting in the top tier. Certainly, isn't because of our offense and the way that's going. All right, I don't know if y'all taught me off the ledge or not, but again, it's it's something that I think the
We got to
as
evolve a little bit, and we got to figure a
yeah,
few things out lineup wise. I don't think you can just. I know you I think Coach Vaughn's a man of maybe all baseball coaches are very superstitious. So if a team
sure,
wins, if we had somehow won that game, I know Plattner's really been struggling. If we had somehow won game 2, he'd have been in the lineup for game
you'll
3.
be
The
right back.
whole
Yeah.
stick with what works. I think you have to keep doing what you're doing, but you have to evolve the lineup if guys are struggling
Mhm.
or if lefties can't hit lefties and stuff like that. So I'd like
Yeah.
to see a little more trying of experimenting a few things here. That's beating a dead horse. So that's why I can't talk you off the ledge, but we've been hitting the ball pretty well at home for the most part.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Here,
And Christensen should be close, so
uh,
possibly give a boost, or at least somebody
mhm.
to give an opportunity to.
Another
Mhm.
option anyway.
Yeah.
At least another option. Roger sent around a tweet from Jake McKeever, who we see on Twitter pretty often. And I'm assuming it's a series of tweets, but the first one, probably went alphabetical. Alabama. This month in the SEC will tell us a ton. Here's a few storylines to watch. Alabama. Can this team finally shed the Rob Vaughn's Alabama teams run out of gas syndrome, right? I know he quotes our record in February, March, and then, what we've done in like last year, 25-4 in February, March, and then we went, 10-11. I'm sorry, 16-14 to kind of finish the year. We talked we talked to Rob about it early, but, before the season started about, concern as the years gone on over last year, maybe the year before, that your pitching staff just got so you could only trust a certain number of guys, and you overworked them, and mind you had success, but it just maybe by postseason play you kind of run out of gas. Do you see that happening with this team, Drew?
I really pitching wise, it really shouldn't. You think about who they trust. Obviously, Banks and Heiberger are our top 2 bullpen guys. They feel really good about Sam Mitchell. He's pitched really well. Crowther, we talked about. So that's
Yeah,
4.
yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
Morrison, Smyers, I thought that was still a high leverage situation to put him in, even though we were
Hmm.
trailing. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
they both pitched really well. If those are your weekend guys, that's what 6, including your starters. They feel better about Alcott than probably I do, but he's pitched fine. And then you look
Hmm.
at if you're able to use Blackwood, Alcock, Steckmesser, Sarna, hopefully Pacey on a midweek game. Well,
Hmm.
then your bullpen's fresh. So hopefully,
Sure.
that's the case. We're not having to use Heiberger 3 times a week. And
Yeah.
last year we were using like him more or him
Myers
Myers.
and Oz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nas.
3 times. I don't think we're going to do that this year. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Of course, I think if you start actually swinging the bats well these midweek games and scoring 10 runs like he should against Sanford,
Yeah.
then you really don't have to worry about it. But I think
Uh-huh.
we have a few more bullpen options to where maybe they won't burn out by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger, what about the starters? I mean, again, I mean, you're right. You're saying 3 starters. I mean, if you can get through the year on 3 starters, you're doing something right.
Yeah, that is
If
highly unusual.
Yeah,
I mean, you're getting a minimum of 6 from Tyler,
yeah,
and sometimes
5 or 6 from Zane.
yeah. Zane's pitch count seems to get a little higher quicker
Mhm.
than Tyler's, but he gave a solid 5, but he's been good for 6, and then
Mhm.
if we get Miles where it finishes 4 even.
Yeah,
Mhm.
If Tyler and Zane have gone 6 or 7, and we've cut down the bullpen innings on the first 2 days, then you got a fresh crew on Sunday, and Miles is a more than an opener, but an opener to get you to third inning or fourth inning, and eventually, hopefully, it's going to be the fifth inning, and
uh-huh.
you really got a lot of cards to play.
Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
and
that's the key.
we only have
Go ahead.
4 midweek games left, which means for those last 2 series, that'll open up
Yeah,
JT to
Mhm.
be an arm to use too.
yeah,
Right, right. Inning or two on the weekend. If you recall, the first Sanford game, JT started, went 6+, 6 and 9, maybe
yeah. They
about
couldn't
in the
touch him.
seventh. They
Yeah,
couldn't touch him. He was lights out. The last lately, I mean, maybe it's even by design, has been more of a 2, 3 type inning start. But yeah, if he could pull that off tomorrow night, that'd certainly
he
be
he
great. It'd
was
be nice to.
pitching. He was pitching really well at Jacksonville the other night,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they pulled him after 3 with only 1 hit, no walks,
uh,
and right,
yeah,
49 pitches.
and,
So I
and
mean, I know
probably
they
get
wanted to
guys
get
work.
some guys some work, but
Mhm.
it might be a good if he's going like he did against Sanford last time, or like that start. He
Right.
can. But then they may think, well, he's pitching so well, we need to save him. We might need him at some point on the
Sure.
weekend too.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
hopefully we jump
Great.
out a bunch of runs, and then we can just throw guys out there for a couple innings, 1 or 2
Yeah.
innings at a time.
Yeah. Griff, do you think this is the team that kind of breaks that out of gas jinx?
I
Again,
think
it
it
was
does.
obvious last year, and the year
Right.
before, we kind of got down the year. It was like, hey, you're riding for own, and Zane's a freshman, and
It
it,
felt
it
like
just
fumes towards the end of last season, where at this point everyone stayed healthy. We've got a wealth of bullpen guys that are contributing, and it may not be as deep as we all would like, but the guys that are contributing are seriously getting their innings in. So outside of something I don't want to talk about as far as injuries
uh,
goes, like I think that would be like our biggest hiccup right now. It feels like
uh,
all the guys are in rhythm. I know Miles will figure it out. I mean, he's a freshman pitching in the SEC. I
sure,
know, guy across the locker room, Zane could probably tell him a lot about in that same situation just 2 years ago. So, yeah, it helps to have everyone healthy, and available, like you said, depending on if we need it, maybe need Hagen to run out there twice in a weekend or something.
yeah,
We have that load
yeah.
management, but last 3 weeks, I will say a lot of quiet naysayers for the Fire JJ crowd. They I
Let
have
them
not
know.
heard from them, so
Mhm.
No, I hadn't heard from the pitching sucks crowd.
yeah.
Uh, that unbelievably was out there even after the Kentucky and South Alabama debacles. That how you could say the pitching sucks after that. What the
Yeah.
defense was doing that time. Coming up, I mean, again, we talked a little bit about Arkansas. I saw a good bit of that. It's kind of like your hate watching Auburn, and then when they start pulling away, you got to turn it off. So the Arkansas series, I saw some of those games. It really looks like Drew Van Horn really doesn't like you. How sometimes you're like, man, he doesn't like this team. I've said that about Nate a lot about different teams he's had. He just does not like this team. It looks like he doesn't like his team, doesn't like his pitching staff. And he's got a quick hook on a lot of those guys.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch a whole lot of them, but yeah, they're just like you said, struggling. I mean, I think
Mm.
I was the only one to pick them to beat Mississippi State in week 1, and they did. They at home, and then I think since then, I'm not sure if they've won a series.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Swept by Florida,
got
lost
swept
to
by Florida.
Auburn, and
Mm.
then week 2 was. Did they go to South Carolina week 2 and sweep them?
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
Maneri fired. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
they got
that's
yeah.
right. So
24,
you know,
24 to 4 or whatever.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you obviously can mess around, and you don't want to mess around and let them get somewhat hot in a game,
Right.
but really should be a series that you think you could win 2 out of 3 at home, if not more at this
Mhm.
point. But like I said, and they were saying, Mark and Joe Healy were saying this on their podcast about how it's going to be kind of like there's always going to be those teams that just have a lot to play for, like it's like their season's on the line, and they're not going to want to come to Tuscaloosa and lose a
I mean,
series. I mean, we've
no,
kind of had
no.
their number here the last couple of years, though.
Catching a good time. I know they lost their midweek game last week. They got swept by Florida, and then they lost 2 out of 3 to Auburn. So I mean, that's at least 6 out of 7 they've lost. I don't know what they did in the midweek before that, but a little bit reeling. If I might say, I will say this: it seems like again, Van Horn had a really quick hook on these guys. Just kept going to the bullpen, getting the same results. Maybe has Gackle that is kind of his Friday night guy. Beyond him, it didn't seem like they're real settled as far as their starting pitching in the next year, and that's very Megan atypical for a Van Horn Arkansas team.
Oh, very much. I mean, that's kind of what, I guess maybe outside of Sully, kind of what, it's been bread and butter of Arkansas consistent pitching. We've had
Mm.
the guys out there that, I mean, they kind of look like they maybe pulled them out of a trailer park and said, "Hey, come pitch baseball." But
Sling it, just sling it.
like, they can pitch and they can find ways to win games. And that
Mm.
does not seem to be the Arkansas team at
No,
all that's rolling out there. And that,
no,
DVH is tired of it. And to the point, I think, you already said of like, they have not done well coming to Tuscaloosa in the last few years. So I think that's going to
no.
be real
Mm.
interesting to see how short that leash ends up getting this weekend.
Yeah, dangerously close against swept this past weekend. The game that they won, I guess the middle game of the series was one they had to come back from and win it at Auburn, who has not been a good hitting team, but hit these guys last weekend. So that's encouraging based on
Yeah.
what we've seen
Yeah.
out of Auburn hitting the ball. Here's an interesting thing I think to think about. I'm going to go through the schedule this weekend of conference games. Think about it from the standpoint of how many teams. And again, this is where Arkansas is dangerous. They've lost this, however many out of. Think of Mississippi State. Everybody thought they were invincible as they swept Ole Miss. They go in the next weekend, they get swept at home. There've been a lot of those kind of turnarounds. The Gators last weekend after
Yeah.
after we swept them, they go and sweep Arkansas. I mean, it's just kind of one thing after the other. All right, teams coming back from kind of are in a rough patch. Who gets right this weekend? Oklahoma's at Vandy. South Carolina's at Missouri. We'll kind of throw that one out. The Gators at Georgia. So the Gators are coming off a getting swept, sweeping, and then losing 2 out of 3 in kind of heartbreaking fashion against Georgia, who's flying high. That seems to me like maybe a trap series. Tennessee at Mississippi State. State just got swept. Tennessee just lost 2 out of 3 and was like 3 or 4 inches away on a flip to second base from getting the third out to win that game against LSU, and then just got pounded in extra innings. Arkansas at Alabama. Again, we've talked about that a lot. Kentucky at Auburn. Both teams kind of up and down. LSU at Ole Miss. LSU's kind of getting right. Ole Miss kind of got right this weekend, and then Texas at A&M. Realistically the best team in the conference and one kind of in the middle. What do you see this weekend? Because there were a bunch of sweeps a weekend ago. There's only one sweep this weekend. Is this a weekend where somebody just blows the doors off of somebody you don't expect? Hope y'all wrote those down.
I did. That's what I was trying to keep up.
I don't expect. I mean, I'd like to. I guess it's easy to say probably stayed at home against Tennessee. And I mean, that seems like a make or break series for Tennessee. If they turn around,
they may have already broken. They may.
You're right. Then they could have already. They may already be there. But if they leave Starkville and they're 4-11, I mean, that's yikes.
Yeah. It's over. Yeah.
Yeah. I find it interesting that obviously Kentucky did what they did week 1, and now they're only 6-6. It won't be easy, I think, on the road, but I mean, Auburn's look beatable. Obviously, we did our business against them. So, but I mean, do I trust Oklahoma to go on the road and do a lot of damage against a Vanderbilt team that's kind of sneaky. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't love
right.
this week's picks. I
It's
don't
a
love
tough
any of
call
them right
this week.
now. Yeah,
It's a tough
exactly.
call. Yeah, yeah. Drew, you got one? Any of those jump out at you as a kind of a trap for somebody?
Yeah, I mean, it could be us for all we know, but I keep harping that it really probably won't be us. But I think if it was going to be, like Griff said, the Mississippi State Tennessee one, because Tennessee's kind of in the same situation as Arkansas,
Mhm.
playing for, they just, I mean, not good for them to go to Mississippi State and lose a series. But
Mhm.
I mean, I think Tennessee a few years ago was 5-10 in the SEC and made it to
Yeah.
Omaha, so it's still kind of early in the season to
Are they
you know
3-9 or 4-8 or what are they?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, I hopefully lose all three of them, but
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, it's this SEC is just you just for most of the teams you just really kind of never know what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
All right, Roger, you got one?
Um, I'd love for it to be Kentucky to bounce back at Auburn.
Yes, Auburn. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't think
I
Auburn's
don't.
going to pound out a bunch of runs against that pitching staff
Yeah,
like they did against
yeah,
Arkansas. I'll tell you that.
and I mean, since State got swept, I guess it'd be a bounce back for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they'll
right.
bounce back over Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think UGA should beat Florida.
You think? Okay, I was going to say that felt like a trap. Like maybe that's
Maybe
Florida's stand.
maybe a 2-1, or
Yeah. Okay.
maybe a close down to the wire to
Uh-huh.
who takes the series. I think
Right.
Mizzou will probably get South Carolina. That was at Missouri, right?
That one is at Missouri. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to circle Oklahoma to
Okay.
bounce
To bounce back. All right.
to bounce
At
back,
Vandy.
but Vandy's tough there.
Yeah.
And
Battle of a 6-6 team to 5-17.
right.
Megan,
And then
you got.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid LSU's turning it on right now.
All right, that was mine. And
After that,
Megan, it might have
yeah.
been yours. All right, I caught. I mean, obviously, it was the only game on yesterday. Was, I mean, you could flip between that and the Kentucky Missouri game, but I think you saw yesterday what LSU is capable of. I mean, there's no reason that lineup, if they get a little bit of pitching, there's no reason they should go 6-6 in their next 12. I don't care who they're playing. It's pitching has been an issue. I mean, I just think they're not consistently getting solid pitching. They bring in a reliever. He is bombed away. They bring in a guy who just walks a guy. They snatch him immediately. But the power barrage yesterday, the 400 run, that's unbelievable. I think we might have seen LSU wake up yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think they sweep Ole Miss at Oxford, but I think they take 2 out of 3. Megan, you got one?
Honestly, I think it's going to be a very split weekend, a very
Yeah.
split between road teams winning and home teams winning. I think it's going to be evenly split kind of down the board. Maybe a surprise one could be A&M. I think that's a
Yeah,
long
that's
shot,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I think I could see maybe Texas looking past that one a little bit. Is that at Texas? Or is that
That's at
A&M?
A&M. That's at College Station.
So,
And
I
this
mean,
is
it's going to be a
this.
loud crowd that
Yeah.
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 They're not
their
going to look past
toasters
it.
and bubblers, whatever the hell they've got.
Mhm.
I mean, that's two. I mean, they probably hate each other more than Alabama and Auburn. So
Yeah.
nobody's going to look past anybody there. But
Mhm. Yeah.
we'll see. Texas, maybe he's vulnerable, but
Mhm.
they should go in there and win. But I'm going to say Texas A&M.
You got anything? Okay. All right. We'll get a chance to predict all these. I
Yeah.
thought it's been real interesting this conference schedule because of the bounce backs. It seems like these teams that you're burying one week are right back. Alabama being one of them after week 1, that is now sitting at 8-4 again as we go through the standings. Georgia 10-2, Texas 9-3, Alabama 8-4. You got a pack of 3 at 7-5. That's A&M, Mississippi State, Florida. You got a pack of 4 at 6-6. That's Kentucky, Auburn, LSU, and Vandy, and then you got the rest of them with a pack at 5-7. You probably wouldn't have thought Arkansas's 5-7 at this point, or Tennessee at 4-8. I think that Tennessee team's in trouble. I don't think Ole Miss is gonna. I think that team bounces back strong. I mean, I think Georgia's just that good. We may have Tennessee may be buried by the weekend. Hopefully, we bury Arkansas. I think LSU has the potential to bury Ole Miss, just based on what I saw last weekend. But and so maybe this will start to kind of crystallize. But again, you got a real good opportunity if you're Alabama. Go win 2 out of 3 again, and you're 10-5. You're staying up in that upper echelon of the conference. You're not going to get many teams in that 7-pack getting up to you this weekend. So excellent opportunity. We got a bunch of listener questions. Let me go through because they were coming in the last hour or two, and I hadn't noticed. Be sure if you I saw it on Twitter a minute ago, just kind of retweeted it out. Justin LeBron with Roger and who's on there? Let's see, is it Roger? Yeah, it's just Roger's hosting the Hey Coach show. Roger Hoover at Baumhauer's. So go download that off the Crimson Tide Sports Network Twitter account or off their YouTube page. Get to see what Justin had to say tonight. All right, again, a bunch of questions. Some of these we kind of covered, but here we go. Let's go. Will Ward at 15_ Will. What's the chances of us being in the top 8, which means hosting both regional and super regionals? Drew, predict that. I mean, we kind of queued that up.
If it ended right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to see it, but I mean, the way the schedule plays out, and if we stay healthy with our starting pitching and some guys pick it up, I still think there's a lot more room for improvement with our team than there is for regression, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
So I think as of right now, I mean, if we're 8-4 over these next 12 games somehow, and
you're right there,
4-2 the last 2, if you're 20-10, I mean, we're a top 4 national seed. So I think the chances, I think they're about 70% right now. That's probably what I'm thinking.
It's pretty solid. Yeah, I think one of the projections today that was kind of, you get the different bracketology type things in baseball. Maybe has as a 6 seed. Again, the key for our listeners, follow that RPI, because no matter what the rankings that come out every week say, RPI is going to drive a lot of the seeding. I mean, for one thing, it's going to drive who's coming to the top, because again, it's going to measure in our instance the and we talk about quad ones. I have to go back and read it, but I mean a top 30 win or a top 30 win at home, I think, or a top 25 win is a quad one. A top, is it 50 or 50? I have to go back to it on the
26 to 50 at home, or 61 to, yeah. I mean, there's how it breaks down is they've got all the different deltas, but we keep winning the quad one games at home. We're going to assume obviously that you look where we're going. Texas is obviously going to be a quad one team,
right? No matter what.
Forward, you're going to Ole Miss is going to be a quad one team, depending on what happens. I mean, they are right now. As I have told people, just keep winning and things will take care of themselves. I mean,
it'll take care. Yeah.
Looking at
here's what's
oh, you're good, Paul.
No, it's okay. I was always trying to remember. A home win over 1-25 is a quad one win. Neutral over 1-40, and we've played all our neutral games aside from, I guess, the SEC tournament. 1-40 is a quad one, and then 1-60 on the road is a quad one. So like the Jack State game falls into that, and there you may look out and catch up. If a Troy or somebody gets bumps up a little bit higher, they may be way back this year. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. So again, follow the RPI. It's not too early, I think, to be following RPI. You're halfway through the conference season, and it's going to start crystallizing. And the other thing to remember is it's like this: these teams are playing each other now. Now the top 30 are essentially kind of playing each other every weekend, right? Especially in the SEC. So unless you get a sweep, you get a big jump, right? You get 2 out of 3, you get a little jump. You lose 2 out of 3, maybe you get a little dip, but it's kind of going to balance out. So I think it's going to crystallize around that. Any thoughts on that? You think? We were talking about us going 19 wins, 20 wins in the conference. I think you're pretty much assured a top 6 at that point.
Looking at the RPI, SEC is number 1 in the country in RPI for as far as the conference goes. We're number 1 non-conference, records, all that jazz. So I don't see us sliding much further. To Drew's point, if we are 18, 19, 20 conference wins, the math says over the past 12 to 15 years, you were like an 88% lock to have a top 8 seed. So just keep winning and
just keep up, takes care of itself. Yeah. I think, and again, my mind always stays there because, man, you want to host that regional. And, I don't even know what it's like to host a super. It's been so long. But, and it certainly had happened at the New Joe, but
Yeah.
that regional was so much fun. I mean, the 2023. If you could get there, if you could get through, if you could host a super, I mean, there's nothing like that. I mean, from a standpoint of this program, and so I think that again, everything in my mind is around that. I mean, I just that's all I think about when I think about the team. Here's a question for everybody, because I think I went back and Drew, you mentioned maybe you expect some improvement from different aspects of the lineup or whatnot, but Meghan, more likely, remember that my thing earlier, 5 of the 9 in your everyday are hitting 220 or below. 4 of the 9 in your top in your 4 of the 9 in your everyday are hitting 320 and above. What's more likely, the 220s come up or the 320s come down? What's more likely? What do you think is going to happen over the next 6 series?
I mean, statistically says it should fall somewhere in between of both. Realistically, with who we have coming up in the next series, it'll probably be those at the top drop a little bit, but I hope that means that somebody there at the bottom, at least one or two of them, will be able to add to that and break through.
Well, we know there's one in there that has the potential to to join that upper echelon, which hopefully will happen. His first 2 at bats Saturday, we texted
very
about.
promising.
He smoked those balls. The last 2 at bats were not very productive, but the dude made a great play on that ball in center field, and then the first inning single was nice. So hopefully that and he looked good at batting practice today. Which I mean, it's batting practice, but it just seemed like more line drives, more gaps. Just like really working on that stuff. So
was definitely pounding the ball into the ground a lot lately.
Yeah,
and,
just like
got to get around that. Yeah. Here's what Durag Norris. I'm sorry, I was about to say Durag Norris. Ask us some general thoughts from you on how solid the bullpen has been this year with a lot of matchup-based options in the holster. I haven't seen us really go, Griff, like, lefty, righty. Let's bring in a lefty to get one out, or righty, like you see. I mean, I saw a lot of that with LSU and Tennessee and Arkansas over the weekend. It's a little more by feel, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that I've seen quite as situational plugins where it's a matter of we're just letting guys go after it, and until it gets sideways, they're not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't think JJ is trying to overthink it. He's just letting them go after it. I mean, if we get to a point where we certainly, or he has a feel that this is where we're going to go, or they look at the analytics and the numbers to say we need to switch up the pitcher. I don't think that they'll lean too much into it, because I mean, guys going well, why bother? But
we did it in Jacksonville the other night. Went from Morris to Sarna for one batter to Lehman for one batter. Like we went, right, left, and I mean it seems like maybe not necessarily batter to batter, but we've done that more. Like he hasn't done the John Cohen or the what you were saying Tennessee, like pulling the guy after one. But there's been a lot more of, all right, you went a third or 2/3, you did what we needed you to do. We're bringing somebody else in. Well, there's been more of that this year than typically just staying with the guy. Sometimes maybe too long.
Sure.
It seems like we've been, he's been a little
more. Got more options. I mean, that's a lot of
and that helps when you have somebody that you can put in there that you trust. So it's been great to see the bullpen.
Hey, give me one guy, following up on his question. Give me one guy of the bullpen right now. Kind of a little bit of a follow-up. One of the guys had a question last week about all the guys that had pitched 8 innings or less and who was going to maybe jump up. And I think kind of the consensus maybe is like Morris, and Morris was a little bit over 8 innings, but had a great week. Give me somebody that maybe is not jumping in, doing a lot on the weekend right now that you think is next. Who's next?
I would say Sarna or Lehman. I mean,
Sarna. Okay.
Yeah, I wonder about Sarna just because, and I don't know. I guess he was injured for a bit. He's pitched a couple innings in these midweek games the last 2 weeks, so I would guess him. Haven't seen Pacey in a while. Would like to see him maybe get a chance here and there. Yeah, don't know if we'll see Chirado or Robertson anymore. Who knows?
Yeah. Pacey was getting hot the other night. I think I
One
don't
of
know if
the
that was at JSU or maybe one of the OU games. I don't remember. He was down there getting hot at some point, but just didn't get
I
in.
think it was JSU.
Mhm. It's
so maybe Smyers and Lehman both as matchup lefties.
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
Maybe Lehman maybe for one guy or two guys, and maybe Smyers for
Mhm.
an in or being a starter.
Mhm.
But mostly like maybe he could go more than one for you, but
Uh-huh.
they have used Lehman a couple of different times. I think up in Huntsville and then in Jacksonville, just like one or two batters get out of it. Or
Yeah.
he pitched well in up in Huntsville.
Sure. Sure.
Um, and then he did his job the other day in Jacksonville. So maybe
Yeah.
those
All right.
two, and Morris because
And Morris, yeah.
he was
Very impressive week
kind of
for him.
forgotten there for a
Mhm.
week or two. It
Yeah.
seemed like, and then he did well. He pitched at Jacksonville and did fine, and then he pitched really well following
He's
the other night.
tweaked whatever command issue he had, whatever game that was, is one of the early games, and he
Yeah.
just came in and just couldn't find the zone and had a quick hook. He's corrected that. He's figured that out, whatever that was. Here's a good one. At Bama Burner 1892. Bama Burner, bunch of numbers. Will we be seeing Hines in the lineup more at the DH spot or left
Yes.
field? I guess. All right, you think so? Yes.
I say yes. I
Yes,
think he's earned some. I think he'll play tomorrow. I mean, that's just a feel. That's not
Yeah.
not knowing anything.
DH or left field? Do you think more for him?
Probably DH, but I could see
DH.
both, depending on what they wanted. Like tomorrow, if they wanted to catch Brady to give Johnny some rest and let
Mhm.
Johnny DH, then maybe left field.
Maybe that.
Or
Okay.
but you need two outfielders in because you'll need a right fielder. So
Right.
Mhm.
So could be that.
Are he and Osterhaus mutually exclusive in the lineup? You got one or the other, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you think?
I don't see Eric playing for some. Well, I mean, if it's DH, you play on
Then
both
maybe not.
like they did Saturday.
Right. Okay.
Jo and left and Eric at DH.
Okay.
But
Drew,
it just depends on what you're going to do. Is Johnny going to catch every inning of every game? The rest
you've been a big proponent of Hines, and rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah.
your thoughts?
I thought he might have been the only starter who did not strike out in game 3. I don't know that. I'm
He
trying to
swung it
go off
well.
memory.
He did
swung
not strike out, and
So he went deep fly to center. That's a home run on any other
Mhm.
day. Led to a run. He went infield single.
single,
He
deep
went.
fly ball, and hit by
That's a
pitch.
home
Smoked
run
one
on
to
any
left.
other day, and then he took one in the ass and took first base. So he's I look forward to seeing more. They need to give him a start tomorrow. I'm not saying they have to start him all 3 games
Mhm.
over the weekend, but give him at least one there. I mean, Plattner, I know he's struggling, like hitting 130 or whatever. Give him midweek starts at catcher to give Lim a break. And,
Give him a break. Yeah,
I
sure.
feel like Lim has played a little first base, hasn't he? I mean, you could put him there or something like that.
He hasn't for us. He
For a
said
He
while,
hasn't for
yeah.
us. Okay,
he
I thought
said
he
he
did.
played some right field at
I'm not suggesting
We're-
that now,
Community
but
college.
Southern Illinois.
but I'm sure he could do it if he needed to.
He's got a glove he carries around. So
That's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so my guess is you'll probably see, maybe you could see, and they're starting a righty on Stanford is, and I bet they
Yeah.
end up going with,
I
and it's
mean,
a righty who looked pretty good, Will Andre from Dangerous Hoover, in that early season game against us. So
Yeah.
it won't surprise me if Osterhaus is in left. We need more out of him. I would sit him against lefties and play him against righties, but I feel like we could certainly mix and match guys, and we don't have to just
they could
start
do
the
what
same lineup.
they could do what they did down at South and put Brennan in right field,
Mhm.
Osterhaus at second, or JoJo,
Second.
and then you could play Eric in left, and
Yeah. Of course, we made 5 errors that night, so I don't know we want to put that.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that wasn't a pretty night.
No.
All right. Hey, couple more, and then we'll call it a night. We'll let everyone get to the basketball game. Trace Beasley at TBZ8. Do you think we see Sam Christensen this weekend? I don't think we see Sam Christensen this weekend. When do you think we see Sam Christensen?
Roger.
I mean, I guess he might get like pinch hit tomorrow.
Okay.
I
All right.
mean,
He's
but
swinging the bat. He's taking bat in
right.
practice.
I saw him take that in
Yeah.
practice. I don't know how much he can, I hadn't seen him run, but
Yeah.
his leg's not pretty, but it was strong enough to be released to do
Be able to
this.
swing him. Yeah.
I don't know that. Also, as well as we've been, winning, not necessarily, but as well as we've been playing, like you said, they're not going to make wholesale changes,
No.
like when you're on a streak. And as Drew pointed out, they probably might not have changed Saturday if we had won the Friday game. But
Yeah.
Rob spoke as if Eric had earned
Earned it.
more
Yeah.
chances.
The way he's
Not saying full time, but that he earns more opportunities.
Rob's pretty good too about giving injury updates and talking about that sort of stuff. So I expect we probably hear from that. I mean, one of the reporters asked him that this week in the press conferences and all. I think you'll hear a little more about Sam and what their timetable is on him. All right, finally, Tyler Wilcox at Johnny MySpace. His question: are Fowler and Neal the greatest duo since the Bash Brothers? Fowler and Neal. Again, the Bash Brothers, Canseco and McGuire, probably in their pre-steroid days, I guess.
Maybe. They probably aren't quite that good, but they've been lifesavers for us.
All right, well, give me your best Bash Brothers in Alabama history, and this can go back to the clown bat era and everything. I mean, this can go back. Give me your best Bash Brothers.
Phillips and G.W. Keller.
Right.
Andy Phillips and G.W. Keller.
My head went to late 90s, and those two guys were pretty fun.
Yeah. Drew?
Yeah, we had those four guys in 97 who hit 20. So you're thinking, I think the top two might have been Roberto Vaz and Dustin Moore. And then you had Keller hit 20 that year and Robbie Tucker. So those are four that I think of. Trying to think of some more recent ones.
Mathis and Jake Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mathis and a lot of people. Mathis and Rutledge. I mean, not Bash Brother home runs, but neither Brady and Bryce don't either. They were doing it all the way around.
Yeah. The year Colby Shelton's 26 or whatever that
25.
Yeah.
Who was next on the team?
Pinkney with 17.
17,
like
okay.
Drew Williamson had
Pinkney had 18. Pinkney had 18. So 25 and 18.
Pretty good duo in a post clown bat era. Right?
Yeah. Braun 18 and Hodo 15 last year.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so I think the answer to that is maybe, but probably not now. Maybe
we're not going to go quite that far yet.
Yeah, we'll put an asterisk by, but we'll see how they do these final 6 weeks. Final thoughts on the week that was and the week that will be.
Productive weekend on the road. I mean, I would have loved to get a sweep, but 2 or 3 in conference is way better than 1 and 2. And I say we get 3 or 4 this week, win tomorrow, and I will say at least 2 or 3 against Arkansas. If we played like we did against Florida, then we will see a sad Dave Van Horn in the dugout, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, Drew, wrap it up.
I'm very close to picking a sweep against Arkansas, but I think we win the series at least and win tomorrow. So just hope to see some guys take advantage of their chances offensively and get better. Pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, Megan.
I'll go 4 for 4. Give me 7 out of 8 for 2 weeks combined.
There you go. Yeah, Roger. Final thoughts on the weekend or heading up into this one?
I think we definitely will have a good week. Had a great week last week, and I think even better this week. All of them.
All right.
That was 4 on the road. Now let's go 4 at home and
let's go 4 at home.
Keep our 17 game home winning streak alive.
Yeah.
Longest home winning streak in the country.
Yep,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. All right, so we got Sanford tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We've got the Arkansas series back to the regular Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Fay Day, Saturday, Church on Sunday, as we call it. We've got those at 6, 4, and 1, I believe is the schedule. Unless they did something funny with the network game. So 6, 4, and 1. No reason to not have the Joe just packed out again. I know
11 more home games.
11 more home games.
Once you get to the Joe, go enjoy the whatever the hell they're doing for 8A these days. I mean,
Yeah,
just
that's right.
go see that for 5 minutes and just walk down the street.
Yeah.
It'll be
A
a lot
lot
more
of
fun.
little giveaways. I mean, they're doing
Yeah.
little master shirts or something. They're doing some nice little giveaways. So it should be a fun. Weather is looks like it's going to be fantastic this weekend. So
Saturday is Justin LeBron bobblehead day
is awesome.
as well.
So, yeah.
So
yeah, you got to get there for that.
I'm assuming you'll have about 500 people texting you. Hey, can you get me a bobblehead, Roger?
yeah.
Yeah. So like Griff said, 11 chances to see this team again. Again, it's shaping up. Maybe you get to host a regional, you get to see them a few more times,
Right.
but don't take your chances. Get out and see this team. A lot of fun watching these guys, and I think especially what they're kind of the way this thing turned around at home. Those last two series. And the way they're playing at home is something else. All right, that's it. We'll take it to the house from there. Go watch the basketball game. Enjoy it. Folks, we hope to see you at the Joe this weekend or this week. Tomorrow night, Samford, and then Arkansas coming to town. For Drew Champlin, Griffin Smith, Roger Myers, Meghan Dennis, I'm Paul Graham. Thank you for watching the Weekly Joe, and we will see you again soon.
Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew and a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's roll, tide, roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Well, it's Bama Blitz.